We're in Texas with Lexus driving the all-new TX.
This video is brought to you by Toyo Tires Canada and the all-new Toyo Celsius 2 all-weather tire.
Stay tuned to find out how you can win a set of these tires. We'll be giving away a set in both Canada and the U.S.
Okay.
Oh man, that feels really good. Can't believe it's, well, I don't want to give it away.
It's a big vehicle and they've got a lot of different options. Let's get into it right now. What's under the hood of the new Lexus TX?
The TX 350 has a 2.4-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder, an 8-speed automatic transmission, 275 horsepower, and 317 pound-feet of torque. In Canada, standard all-wheel drive. In the U.S., front-wheel drive and all-wheel drive options are available. The TX requires premium fuel.
The TX 500H is sold as an F-Sport. It is a 2.4-liter turbo hybrid powertrain system with a 6-speed automatic transmission, 366 horsepower, and 406 pound-feet of torque with what they call their standard direct 4 all-wheel drive.
And finally, the TX 550H Plus with a 3.5-liter V6 plug-in hybrid powertrain. It's matched to a CVT and has a combined 404 horsepower. It gets an EV range of 53 kilometers, 33 miles, and comes with a 6.6 kilowatt onboard charger.
So they might not be out right away, but we're going to do a separate video on the plug-in hybrid, and we're actually doing a comparison between Grand Highlander and this TX, so keep an eye out for those. Right now, we're going to get into what are the key standard features of this new Lexus TX.
The base model comes with a 7-inch multi-information display, a 14-inch touchscreen, wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, a 12-speaker audio system, wireless charger, heated steering wheel, power heated and ventilated Nulux front seats, driver seat memory, heated second row seats, a panoramic sunroof, power folding third row, a power liftgate, and Lexus Safety System Plus 3.0.
So in a new Lexus TX, what can we put it in?
You got to put it in, ask for subscribe, and if you can hit that notification bell, you'll be notified when all of our reviews drop, and then you can watch them.
And we do this, the couple car review, twice a week. The first one drops on Wednesday.
We put another one out on Saturday.
So make sure you like and subscribe, but also follow along on Instagram. It's Motormouth_Andrea to see what's going on behind the scenes. For me, it's Motormouth_Auto, and the links are below the like button. So we've been lucky. They have all of the new TX for us to drive, and we have driven them all. What's your impression of the TX, Andrea?
I really like this TX 350 with the 2.4-liter turbocharged powertrain. It really does feel refined. It eats up the bumps in the roads. We've had pretty good roads here in Texas, fairly smooth, so you'd have to get on some rougher roads to know for sure, but first impressions, I really like it. It handles well. The steering is a little bit lighter. It's easy to maneuver. I think they've done quite a good job with this TX.
Okay, so if you get the top hybrid model, the more powerful one, you get some extra goodies. It's an F-Sport model, so you get an adaptive suspension. You get active rear steering, turning the rear wheels up to 4 degrees, which makes parking a breeze. And when you drive that model compared to the base model we're driving now, it takes it up another level and gives it a real kind of quality, solid, heavy feel. I think that with that trim especially, Andrea, they're going right after the Europeans, like say an Audi Q7 with that model.
Yeah, the steering feels heavier in that model. It feels more planted. That variable adaptive suspension has 650 levels for adjustment.
My favorite was 471. 471 was my favorite for sure.
I can't believe I'm driving a 3-row SUV with that 500h F-Sport performance model. It does a lot well. I mean, it's a hybrid. It's a performance hybrid. I think that you will really like it. It still feels very refined, and like I said, it's sporty for a Lexus.
Okay, let's go back to the base model again, because a lot of people will buy this 350 and it's got the turbo 4-cylinder, and you're like, a turbo 4-cylinder in such a big utility, that seems crazy. But the interesting thing is, this gets better mid-range torque. Like full torque starts at 1700 RPM, which is what you need traffic light to traffic light. So on paper, it might not sound that satisfying, but in real driving experience, in many ways, it's actually better.
Lexus says it's about reducing emissions, and like like Zach said, you reach that peak torque faster.
All right, so let's get into the looks of this thing. So this has what they call the new Lexus integrated spindle grille, which means the bumper and the grille are all integrated. That's the integrated part. This is a little bit longer than the Grand Highlander, and there's some people, the feedback say it has a little bit of a minivan vibe, Andrea.
Yeah, they're not crazy about that front grille. I actually like it. I think it looks pretty cool looking. I was expecting something different from Lexus. It doesn't look like any other Lexus model. Lexus says it's all about cooling performance. That's why they went with this type of grille. Some might say they like the Grand Highlander better, but hey, looks are subjective, so you decide.
So even though this is based on the same platform as the Grand Highlander, the wheelbase is exactly the same. Because of the different bumpers front and rear, it is slightly longer overall.
Yeah, and it does look like it has a bit of a wider stance as well. This gets 8 inches of ground clearance, comes with LED headlights, LED taillights, LED fog lights. You can get 20-inch wheels as standard, available 22-inch, and a temporary spare tire on the gas and hybrid models, a tire repair kit for the plug-in hybrid.
I'm a bit puzzled that if you want the more powerful hybrid system, the performance hybrid, you have to buy an F Sport. It makes no sense to me that maybe somebody just wants the more powerful, but they want a more luxury look. They maybe don't want 22-inch wheels, especially for pothole parts of North America, the Northeast and in Canada. And so I'm surprised they don't offer just a pure luxury one with different wheels and not F-Sporty.
Yeah, the F-Sport comes with those exclusive exterior and interior features.
So yes, this is the Lexus, but the overall layout is the same really as the Toyota product. You do get a different set of materials on this one. I would say that this TX base gas model picks up where the top trims of the Grand Highlander leave off.
This one definitely feels a little bit more luxurious. You have got a standard new luxe interior, but available semi-aniline upholstery. It has a great center console, just like the Grand Highlander, very well organized. I like how the screen is tilted towards the driver. What you will find in the TX 350 is that the seats are quite comfortable, but when you get into that 500h Sport model, the seats are quite firm.
Yeah, they wanted it to be like everybody's flying business class. That's the way they described it in the presentation today. Everybody gets a comfortable seat, and so it's a very roomy vehicle. But the interesting thing is, on those top F Sport models, you lose seats. It's crazy.
Yeah, it only comes with captain's chairs, so it's a 6-passenger vehicle. I don't quite understand that configuration, except for Lexus saying that it's supposed to feel more premium, more like business class. But I think when people are buying a family hauler, whether it's a luxury vehicle or a non-luxury vehicle, they want to haul people. So I think at least having a 7-passenger vehicle in this category is really important.
That's back to my point I was saying. Like, wouldn't it be nice to have the more powerful hybrid system and have a luxury trim that has maybe a bench seat or even 3 seats in the third row? Like, give us that option, and they've really quite limited it.
And with the TX 350, you get a bench seat as standard equipment, but that top trim will open you up to captain's chair. So you've got the option of both. There are 3 color options, which is quite nice. They are available depending on the grade you choose: black, peppercorn, and birch. Now, when the vehicle is equipped with captain's chairs, there is a removable second row center console unit. Let's get into the trims. The 350 Ultra Luxury, which is one up from the base model, adds the 12.3-inch driver display, the semi-aniline leather seats, a 10-way power driver and passenger seat, 4-way lumbar support, a digital rear view mirror, and a power tailgate with the kick sensor. The 350 Executive model adds the 21-speaker Mark Levinson sound system, a panoramic view monitor, a head-up display, and ventilated and heated captain's chairs on that 6-passenger configuration.
Now the 500h, that's the hybrid, builds off the Executive model, but adds all that F Sport exclusive stuff, like F Sport leather seats, F Sport badging, exclusive steering wheel, aluminum sport pedals, and a leather shift knob. In the US, if you get the 350 Premium model, that's where you get the panoramic sunroof, ventilated front seats, driver's seat memory, and power folding third row seats. Other available features include heated rear seats, a 12.3-inch driver display, panoramic view monitor, advanced park, and a head-up display. This is one of the biggest three-row utilities in the class. Second row legroom is ample, lots of headroom. Of course, the seats slide fore and aft and they recline.
Comparing the TX to other competitors like the Acura MDX and the Audi Q7, the TX offers 41.7 inches of front row legroom, which is the same as the Q7 and MDX. Second row legroom at 39.5 inches is about an inch more than the MDX and Q7.
But where this vehicle really shines is when you get into the third row. Real full-size humans can fit back there. And the nice thing is on the top models, the third row is power folding, which means you also get power recline.
Third row legroom at 33.5 inches is 4 inches more than the Audi and the Acura.
And then you lift the standard power liftgate and you get a very useful cargo space even with the third row up. And as I mentioned, on top trims, that third row is a power folding option.
The TX cargo space behind the second row is 57.4 cubic feet. Space behind the third row, 20.2 cubic feet. And overall space is 97 cubic feet. It's larger than both of these competitors.
Look, they gave us fancy mugs.
Aren't
TX.
they cute?
TX mugs.
Time now for questions, coffee, and cars.
Your questions from Instagram.
I've heard comments about it not being well insulated and people hear a lot of road noise. Interesting considering that's typically a strong point for Lexus. Curious to hear your feedback.
Well, I don't know how you would have heard that because nobody's been allowed to talk about the driving impressions.
I did ask that, and
Yeah.
I guess there's some reports out there. I don't know where.
So we did have chats last night with some of our US colleagues that drove this as well, and they said they drove a bunch of different models and noticed depending on the tires, it could be a difference. So tires will make a big difference. I got to tell you, in our experience driving this, it's quieter than the Toyota version.
Oh, it's quieter for sure. You can tell that the cabin is better insulated. I think it's quite good. We did drive the 500h F Sport with the 22-inch wheels. It was still quiet. So I'm going to say it's well insulated.
And road dependent, what kind of road you're on.
Hey, guess what? We're giving away 2 sets of Toyo Celsius 2 all-weather tires.
1 set for Canadians, 1 set for the United States, and we're going to tell you how you enter.
The new Toyo Celsius 2 all-weather tires has the mountain snowflake symbol for traction in all conditions, including snow, slush, and ice for dependable all-weather performance. This is thanks to wide circumference grooves to help evacuate slush and water for better grip to the road surface.
Plus snow claws located both on the inside and the outside. These grooves are designed to help improve deep snow traction and increase block rigidity for better handling.
So how do you enter to win? Well, click on the description below, fill out the form. This is open to Canadian and US viewers.
Now, as an added bonus for Canadian viewers, if you purchase a set of qualifying tires up till December 16th, you can get up to $80 back. So good luck.
I have my eye on a Grand Highlander Hybrid Max Platinum. Do you think I would regret going into a more base model TX for the same money?
Well, good thing you're bringing that up because we're doing a whole separate video on should you buy the TX or the Grand Highlander Hybrid. I'll get a little spoiler alert. If you're going to go from gas model to gas model, it's worth migrating towards the Lexus.
Yeah.
If you're going hybrid max to hybrid max, there's a massive difference in price, right?
If you go for the 500h, it's an F Sport model and it's a 6-passenger vehicle. So there's some difference. You're going to pay 19,500 Canadian more for the TX Hybrid Max, that 500h, and 11,000 more in the US. So that's a lot of money. I mean, it really depends on budget and do you want the Lexus experience and the Lexus badge. I would say for me, if I only had the budget to get the TX 350 gas model, I would probably get the Toyota Hybrid Max Platinum model.
Yeah, so you're going from the top trim of the Toyota, which is the same powertrain as this vehicle that's 19 grand more.
Yeah.
This hybrid in this Lexus is the best add for the Toyota Grand Highlander Hybrid Max.
For sure. How does this compare to other luxury 3 rows? And would the V6 plug-in be a good choice? Well, I think people are really surprised that there is a V6 plug-in hybrid and it has a CVT. This is a vehicle that's going to provide the performance that people will like from Lexus, but also be fuel efficient.
Okay, most startling stat that we got in the presentation this morning, Lexus in the Canadian market now has a larger market share than Mercedes-Benz and BMW. And you can see that they're going right up the backside of those brands because they have offerings that the others just don't. They've got plug-in, they've got regular hybrid. Those brands don't have regular hybrids, and they've got conventional gasoline models. And that's like a triple threat. So yeah, they're expensive when you get the upper models, but I don't know if you've noticed, but those products are expensive too.
2/3 of the Lexus lineup is now electrified. So that says something, and people want electrified vehicles. And I would say that there is no 3-row SUV that offers this much space in the luxury category. So if you want a luxury family hauler, this is it.
And now it's time for our hot topic. What's this one, Andrea?
I find it amazing that while gas prices are on the rise and the economy is tightening, every manufacturer seems to be introducing bigger vehicles. Defender, Wagoneer, Toyota, and now this. What is driving this contradiction? Are humans just getting bigger?
So as the industry has become more fuel efficient, if they kept vehicles the same size, they would be hyper efficient. But they've taken a lot of that efficiency and just made the vehicles bigger. So you don't notice at the gas pumps, but you're driving a massive vehicle around.
And people love large vehicles. There are body-on-frame SUVs like the Escalade and the Tahoe that are selling like crazy. So there's obviously a need for people who want to drive a large vehicle. What do I applaud Lexus for? Well, coming out with electrified vehicles, hybrids and plug-in hybrids in this category. I think it's terrific.
All right, so let's get into the fuel economy and more in our vital stats.
Let's start with pricing. In Canada, the base 350 model starts at just over $72,500. And the top 500h F Sport Performance 3 is just over $94,000. In the US, the first all-wheel drive model starts at just over $56,500, and the top 500h F Sport Luxury is just over $72,500.
Here's the fuel economy for the base 2.4 turbo, 11.5 liters per 100 kilometers in the city, 8.9 on the highway. That's 20 miles per gallon city, 26 miles per gallon highway. For the 500h, it's 8.7 liters per 100 kilometers city, 8.4 on the highway. That's 27 miles per gallon city, 28 miles per gallon highway. There's also the 550h Plus, which is the plug-in. It averages 8.1 liters per 100 kilometers city, 8.4 on the highway. That's 29 miles per gallon city, 28 miles per gallon highway. That's when the battery is depleted. All TX models can tow 5,000 pounds. The warranty is 4 years, 80,000 kilometers, or 50,000 miles. In the United States, complimentary maintenance is covered for 1 year or 10,000 miles. Luxury 3-row SUVs. What else can you buy?
For your consideration, 4 vehicles for you to consider.
Up first is the Lincoln Aviator with a 3-liter twin turbocharged V6, 400 horsepower, and a starting price just under $73,500.
The Audi Q7 with a turbo V6, 335 horsepower, and a starting price of $82,500.
The Volvo XC90 with a V6 mild hybrid system, 295 horsepower, and a starting price just under $75,000.
The Acura MDX with a 3.5-liter V6, 290 horsepower, and the deal of the bunch with a starting price of $67,500.
So there are 4 luxury 3-row SUVs for you to consider.
Lightning round, 2 things we like, 2 things we like to see improve.
I'm impressed with 3 powertrain options being offered on the TX.
I'm really surprised by how good the base engine is.
What I'd love to see is a bench seat offering on that hybrid model.
On the hybrid model, I'd also like to see something other than F-Sport. Not everybody wants F-Sportiness, maybe just a luxury trim.
No one's doing this. Lexus is offering a gas model, a hybrid, and a plug-in hybrid.
Don't forget, click the link below and enter to win those Toyo Celsius 2 tires.